Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We've been interrupting our regularly scheduled programming to pay tribute to Academy Award winner Joan Fontaine, who died 2 weeks ago at the age of 96. Joan won that Oscar for the 1941 Hitchcock film Suspicion, which we'll be showing later today. But right now we have her in the film she was actually shooting in February of 1942 when she received that Academy Award. The film is called The Constant Nymph, and several months later it also brought her attention from Oscar, her third nomination as Best Actress. It's a movie for which her boss, producer David O. Selznick, had loaned her to Warner Brothers Studios. This time Joan playing a very young girl, hopelessly in love with an older man, who's a brilliant composer played by Charles Boyer. But there is a problem, a big problem. She's very young, much more like a child than a woman, and he, being an older man, thinks of her as a child. And meanwhile, he falls under the spell of a beautiful and worldly Alexis Smith. And from there, the storm clouds gather, passions are further stirred, and it all builds to an unusual and unexpected climax. Now, initially, this film was set to star Errol Flynn and another Joan, 16-year-old Joan Leslie. But Flynn had to take time off to go to court to try to untangle his complicated personal life at that time. And then suddenly Joan Leslie was needed for another Warner Brothers film, The Hard Way. So then the hunt was on for a leading lady who could pass for an anemic 14-year-old girl. Well, according to Joan Fontaine's autobiography, one night she was dining in Beverly Hills with her husband, Brian Ahern, and they ran into the man assigned to direct The Constant Nymph, Edmund Goulding. Well, in chatting with him, Goulding told the couple his casting predicament, saying, "Where can I find a star who can pass for 14 years old?" Joan said with a laugh, "Well, what about me?" Well, suddenly Goulding had found his leading lady. And indeed, she's very convincing as a fawn-like, lively young girl, much younger than the 24-year-old Joan was at the time. Oscar voters obviously felt she succeeded, thus that Academy Award nomination she received. And I think it may be the best performance of her entire career. Here with the cast that also includes Peter Lorre, Charles Coburn, Dame Mae Whitty, and Brenda Marshall, with a beautiful music score by Erich Wolfgang Korngold. So right now, we bring you from 1943, The Constant Nymph.